All right, welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. Yes, I'm your host, Dan. Nikki is not able to join us tonight, so I have my friend Mal coming on, fellow Long Islander, even though she moved out to Florida last weekend. We'll get into that a little later on. Mal, thank you for joining us. We have a fun show tonight. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I was going to say I'm the brunette Nikki tonight.
Yeah, let's see how long it lasts until I piss you off in some way, somehow. Anyway, thank you for coming on. By the way,
no problem.
Everyone, go check out the new Blonde Blitz YouTube channel if you're not watching it there. We're also on TSS Fantasy and also Spotify now. So the Spotify we will be releasing. I pretty much release right after our shows because I don't got time to wait until 5 a.m. the next day. So immediately after this episode drops, I will put it on Spotify, and the same with Blonde Blitz. So whenever our shows are, that will be out on Spotify. So be sure to check those out, and we appreciate everything. All right, Mel, let's take it away. So pretty much there's no secret that you do have a second favorite NFL team through a relationship. It wasn't like a genuine like, oh, okay, fine. With the Baltimore Ravens. They are one win away to going to the Super Bowl. Like, how do you feel? Like, it's not your team, even though you watch every moment of that team. But like, I've felt that in the past with certain relationships with like, all right, my wife has liked certain teams and like, I shouldn't really be liking this team, but seeing them happy, you're like, oh, okay, it softens the blow a bit. So like, what's the excitement level? Obviously, your boyfriend is obviously hyped, but like, what's your excitement level being like it's your team, but it's not your team at the same time?
I'm excited only because ever since I've started watching the Ravens, I've kind of gotten to really like their players, especially Lamar Jackson. And the amount of hate that man gets is absolutely crazy. And it's unwarranted for no reason. And I've liked Lamar coming out of Louisville. I've always liked him. I watched him in college. I thought he was awesome. So when he was drafted by the Ravens, I was kind of like, oh, all right, like he's going to be great there, of course. And, you know, us with all of our quarterback issues, I was like, this is not going to be good. But now that he's on the Ravens, I am super excited for him, especially. I just want him to win this game so everyone will stop talking about him.
Yeah.
And, you know, if he goes and he loses the Super Bowl, they'll always have something to say. But if he does not do this against the Chiefs, it's just going to be bad for Lamar, and he doesn't deserve it.
He definitely deserves it. I always like Lamar. I have a couple of Raven fans in my life as well.
Yeah.
And I sent you the post. One of my best friends who used to be one of our roommates. He's originally from Queens, but he moved down to North Carolina, but he goes to Baltimore every now and then. And he went to the Jacksonville game, and he basically said he would go to prison for Lamar for a year. So it was really funny. He was on one of those pregame men on the street, and he must have been drinking. And he's like, "Bro, I would go to prison for Lamar for a year." And he's serious. He's one of those fans that will DM him every week or like post a story on him. Come on, Lamar, you got this, bro. Like it's real diehard stuff. So
I wonder how many times he sees those. Like if he actually sees them. He probably
does. He sends me he sees who, obviously you see who watches your story. He's seen them.
That's hysterical.
I don't think he's written back, but he's like, yo, Lamar checked out my story today. So that's pretty fun.
That's great.
Obviously they do have to slay one more dragon in Patrick Mahomes and
the
Kansas City Chiefs, who have been in 6 straight NFC Championships.
That's just
so wild. It's gonna be fun. Like what it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I don't really know. I think the Ravens just got to play their game. I think if Lamar has a good game, they should handle business. They have a great defense, but you can never count out 15. Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes.
Yeah,
and you never know what can happen.
Superman. Yeah. So that's that. I'm sure you guys have something fun planned for Sunday as well. It's the later game. It's kind of weird. No, it's the early game, right?
Yeah, they're 3:00.
They're the 3:00. Okay, that makes sense because they have the Super Bowl. Okay, so they got the 3:00. So that's like that nice perfect time. Like I'm sure you guys have something fun planned.
Yeah, we're actually
Sweating.
gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's right across from SeaWorld there.
Okay.
And he is working until 4:00 or 4:30. So I'm actually gonna be there cheering them on by myself until he gets there.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy. He's right.
It's still a game before he gets off of work because that would suck.
Yeah.
Darius, Chris, what's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe to the new channel if you haven't done so. We really appreciate it. Me and Deb are going to be on tomorrow with Josh Kirby. We're going to recap last weekend's games and the upcoming week as well. Yeah, hold on. What does Darius say? Mal, I'm not sure if you know, but I have been a member of the Ravens flock for a while now. So welcome. Heart emoji. As we know, we love Darius. Darius comes.
We do love Darius.
Darius is one of the kind, and I really love him. So thank you, Darius, as always. Before we get to G-Man talk, any any other thing you want to talk about with the playoffs other than Bass missing a big field goal, which we all knew.
Yeah.
A lot of missed opportunities with the Bills, and then
the Lions, good for them. It's been a while since they've gotten this far. So I'm rooting for them. I don't really like the 49ers, so I would really like for Detroit to kind of do their thing.
Right. I mean, we hope for a shootout because their run defense is going to be really scary.
100%.
So, all right, Big Blue football. Chris, what's up? What's going on? Long time no speak. We'll get to food talk later. It's not going to be the same as always, but yeah, Big Blue talk. There hasn't really been. Yeah, Chris, Dan Campbell, once a Giant,
always a Giant.
I asked my dad because I went to training camp around 2003. He took me up to Albany. I'm like, I gotta find my yearbook because me and him literally we got 2 yearbooks and we just went to town on basically everyone. So I was still in high school, so I was still in that phase of ooh, this is really awesome. Still getting autographs. Granted, I was still 25 until that really stopped for me, but. I digress. But it was I wonder if Dan Campbell, I met Dan Campbell. Probably not because my white whale of that season was obviously Jeremy Shockey. So if I didn't meet Shockey, I probably didn't meet him since it was the same room. So I don't know. Yeah, no, Dan Campbell, at first I thought it was a shtick, obviously. And I was a Joe Judge stan. So I'm like, oh, this guy's Joe Judge, blah, 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 blah.
Wait,
clearly I was wrong.
Fan?
I was a Joe Judge fan. I was a sucker. Full disclosure. I did not run a lap. Actually, that's a lie. I did run a lap when I was walking my dog. I never did the Talking Giants running of laps when my friends were doing it at FanFest. I was not there for that. But while running with my dog in 98-degree weather, I must have said I did something stupid, so I ran a lap, and that was corny. But so this is a fun story with Joe Judge. I got suckered in by his press conference. And I was like, oh, this guy gets it. He's like, oh, man. Everything that Dan Campbell said, to a degree, other than biting kneecaps off, I was just all for it. So I was just like, oh, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. We're going to be good. And then, running laps, yeah, screw them. They got to know. And, well, coaches are running laps? This is awesome.
Everybody's doing it.
And then, the first year, I'm like, okay, I could see this going good, everything like that. Second year, I'm like, oh, this is a little rough. We got Jake Fromm and we got Mike Lennon as quarterbacks. Just don't do anything stupid and you'll be a coach next year. Then he goes on his 20-minute tirade. Yeah, he's no longer a Giant coach. Chris, yes, you're absolutely right. Now I am seeing the light. I saw the light and I was trying to hate on him so hard during Hard Knocks last year. I'm like, see, he's 0-5 and you guys are all eating from him. It's the same as Joe Judge. And then I shut up and I'm like, all right, Dan Campbell's not a bad guy.
He's not. He's a good coach. Doing wonders with that Lions team. I'm excited for them. I am rooting for them. I hope they do get there. Absolutely. But 49ers are tough. We'll see.
All right, so back to Giant Land. there hasn't really been any big news. There hasn't been that interview process that's really been going on for the special teams coordinator and the defensive coordinator at the moment. It seems like we're waiting for the chips to fall on other coaching vacancies so we can swoop in for any sort of openings that might come our way of coaches either getting let go or obviously not coaching at their current position or job. So that seems to be the current standstill. Let's see what happens then. There was rumors that pretty much Wink is Philly is interested in Wink. Obviously, we called that right away in our text messages once we knew Wink was gone. Mal, for full disclosure, talked me off the ledge that day, so thank you, Mal, for that.
Anytime. And we know you're going to be all right. The whole situation was so dumb, and we don't need that drama. We have enough drama. That's got to go.
Plenty. So that's that. With that, see, anything else in Giant Land that you want to touch base on that me and Nikki haven't touched ad nauseum for the last few weeks?
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, it's been quiet.
Especially it's been weirdly quiet.
Yeah, it's been weirdly quiet. I mean, we got the new offensive line coach, Priscillo, and it's really where we're at, right? And we got our new running back coach. Everyone's bald.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for my invite as the Giants coach. But
yeah, everyone's bald, but whatever. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm hoping. I mean, Kafka is moving on to the second interview for the Seahawks head coaching position.
That's right. Good call.
We'll see if we have him next year. I'm kind of indifferent. I would like him to stay, but I'm not hurting.
Yeah. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, he was in the same boat as Wink, I would be pretty pissed because I've seen enough games of him making game planning decisions, and unfortunately, because of our talent, it's just doesn't show. Like obviously the second Washington game, and then you saw the Packers game. They've done enough for him to be coming back, but obviously, whatever story you believe in the whole Kafka saga side of things, it's more than likely not that he will be not here. And it seems like every podcast I listen to, every article I've read, every person on Twitter, it just seems that more and more likely that Daves is going to be running the offense like we kind of expected.
Unexpected, yeah. Especially since we started doing it last year.
Right. Started doing it last year. And then the chances of us maybe drafting a quarterback in the first round or the second round, depending on where the chips fall. Or hell, even Daniel Jones if he magically gets back from knee injury. But kind of find it hard to have a general manager and head coach putting all their chips towards a quarterback with 2 neck injuries and a knee injury. And it's more of a prove-it year. So,
100%. I think that they know that kind of right now they have to make a decision because their jobs could be on the line next year with how this season went. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the draft. I think that's the thing I'm most excited for. I just want to know what we're doing in the draft.
Me too. I wish we could fast forward to free agency and then fast forward the 2 months to free agency. Chris has a good free agency question. For the next DC, how would you use a player like Isaiah Simmons? LOL. First of all, Chris, we all know that you love Isaiah Simmons.
Chris is Isaiah Simmons' number one.
Yeah, 100%. If it's not his mom or parent or significant other, it is Chris. That's a good question. It really depends on how they want to view him because he wasn't that every down linebacker this year because of McFadden and obviously Bobby Okereke. They use him in the right spots in blitzing and obviously in coverage, which he's really good at. It's going to be interesting to see how much money he's going to be commanding on an open market because I don't really see that being a big agenda. It's more of a fit.
Right.
And then we might lose McKinney. I'm not saying he's going to be a good safety. I'm not saying that. But we can have him play in that box that would be like that third safety, third linebacker situation. We don't know what kind of defense our new guy is actually going to play. So
yeah, we might not even have a Dory either.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting to what kind of defense we're playing. Like, That's why hopefully we got the new guy, the new DC soon, and we're like, oh, okay, that guy's more of a zone guy, or that guy is similar to Wink, and he could be utilized in his right way. And then obviously, since he's a free agent, he'll know right away, and his agents will be like, all right, this isn't a fit. Thanks for the year with the G-men, but I'm out of here. So.
Yeah.
What else is going on, Darius? I hope Kafka does come back, even though I may or may not have none of them to go. But y'all know I am over dramatic. Yeah, Darius, you're just like me, and sometimes Mal, and of course Nikki. So,
of course, Nikki.
Nikki's the most drama out of all of us. But all jokes aside, Nikki. What is Darius saying so we can cover? As far as Isaiah Simmons is concerned, use him as a blitz guy, use him as a coverage guy on certain downs. Yeah, he's basically that Swiss knife army guy where it's like, all right, we know this guy can do X, Y, and Z. Let's just limit his snaps because the more we use him, the more he gets figured out out of his weaknesses. So obviously he's not the guy that half the fan base wanted when he got drafted in the top 10 to Arizona all these years ago, but we did get him for a 7th round pick. And for that value, he was really good for what we got back out of him. So
for sure.
I would be all for him coming back, but like I mentioned, we don't know who the new DC is, so it's going to be interesting to see. The new DC is going to want their guys, and unfortunately, Isaiah wasn't here long enough for us to be like, all right, he's a Giant regardless. You know what I mean?
Right.
As much as we would like him to be.
Very up in the air.
Yeah, no, so that's about it with the Giants. So this weekend is the NFC and AFC Championships. It's good time to go down memory lane. You guys in the chat could obviously bring on your favorite memories as well. The Giants are 5-0 in NFC Championship games. I was a witness. I was alive for 4 of them. I was a witness of 3 of them. So that's how old I feel. Mal, you obviously were alive for 2000. Do you remember 2000 at all?
No, I was 3.
Yeah, all right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think I was 3 or 4. So I was alive for 3 of them, witness 2.
Right. All right. So yes, that was the same with me in 90. Obviously, I was 3 for 90, and then 2000 was my holy crap. And now I love football. That was
that phase.
That was my holy shit. That was my like okay.
So you experienced the heartbreak of the Ravens' loss that everybody always talks about.
Yeah.
My brother was born that month. We had a Super Bowl party. And it was just not good vibes. I didn't know what was going on because I was so young, but
yeah. So Chris, I was going to make the joke. Darius, what fan were you in 2000? I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, what? Did you change?
So
I gotta know.
I would hold on. Darius wrote this. I would interview Andre Patterson or Joe Henderson and promote one of them. That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, especially on how they both of these coaches were this year and their positions. I would be all for it as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So, you like the Packers. So you were a Favre guy. Full disclosure, I was a Favre guy too. I was more of like, oh, wait, I love the Giants. I like the Giants. And then I guess 7th grade was when you start playing tackle football for middle school here on Long Island. So that was when I was like, holy crap, I love this game type of thing. And then 8th grade, I bought Madden for the first time. I was like, all right, I'm going to be the Giants. I love the Giants. And literally from that moment, the start of the 2000 season to obviously now, it's just Giants. So, yeah, obviously I was born for 4 of the 5. Obviously didn't see the 1991, which was obviously a classic. We love to find classic final field goal moments of ways to get into the Super Bowl. Yeah, I guess I would have to say 2000 because I was so young and impressionable. Going into that week, you were not going to beat Randy Moss. You're not going to beat Dante Culpepper. Yeah, just because you're playing at home in front of your crowd, your team sucks. You're the shittiest home field advantage team of all time, like Wellington Mara said in his post-game acceptance speech of getting the trophy, and that always, like, we were underdogs at home, the 1 seed, and our defense just shut down like the high-powered Minnesota Vikings offense. And then
it always is like that, though. Our defense always just plays the best against the best during the years that we won. I won't say like all the time now.
right.
In the years we won, that's really how they rolled.
And the thing with me and like our offense was obviously good that year. That was Tiki's breakout year. Kerry Collins was awesome that year. And Sean Payton was our OC. That's how crazy this was.
Yeah.
John Fox and Sean Payton were our OC in DC for that year. And it was just like really the point of like, wow, like we're going to the freaking Super Bowl. Me in 8th grade, just in like that pubescent boy age.
No
like,
better feeling than that.
No better feeling. I wish.
Talk your talk to all the friends. Wear your jersey.
Yes, that was me to a T. Not really realizing the whole NFL of like, oh, the Baltimore Ravens are a real problem.
Yeah.
8th grade me did not want to hear that at all. And I was in for a very rude awakening going into that Super Bowl Sunday. Yes, Ron Dayton's rookie year, Amani Toomer, I kill year. We'll go through the whole team. But yeah, that was my first real year of being like a fan. So that always meant well to me. We'll get to the ones you were born, and obviously great memories for both of us.
Yeah.
The 07, below 0, you see Tom Coughlin's face.
Yeah. Green Bay.
Like I say, I'm sure we've had this conversation. 07 is, if you're alive for 07.
That was the best year to be a Giants fan.
Like that year, that playoff run started with Tampa, which was like, all right, we won our first playoff game with Eli. Okay, cool. Then it's Dallas. You're like, holy crap, we beat Dallas. How are we going to top this? Okay, we're going to Green Bay, the frozen tundra. Let's do this. This is going to be very tough, but hey, house money. Let's ride, right?
And that was the Favre era too.
Yes, that ended the Brett Favre era. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, Brett Favre, Green Bay, under sub-zero temperatures. Does Eli have it? Because let's face it, it's not to the degree that Daniel Jones has it. Granted, social media was very small back then.
Yeah, thank God. Eli would have been slaughtered.
Yeah, well, that year he wasn't perfect, as we all know. He had a 5-interception game against Minnesota.
In the playoffs, that man he was different. He was so different.
So that was peak college for me. There was like this sports store with authentic jerseys and everything else like that. And right before the playoff run, I got a authentic Eli Manning jersey, and everybody's like, "No, what are you doing? Like, why are you wasting your money? Like, why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Eli's my guy. I'm sticking with Eli.
I ride with him.
I'm riding with Eli." And then sure enough, it's just like, I love it. You know what I mean? So
amazing. I'll never forget that year, and I'll never forget 2012 either.
Yeah, and then Lawrence Tynes kicking the missing the first field goal, and then just like, oh, come on, Lawrence. Full disclosure, it was also my dad's birthday, so my dad's like, come on, you bastard, make my birthday dream come true. Just win this, man.
All got incredibly passionate and emotional during those games because there were just some things coming out of my dad's mouth that like I never heard him say before, and he was like, I apologize, like this has not happened in like a long time. And I was like, no, I understand. I get it. I was like, live your best life. Do what you got to do. But, I think everybody went a little wild. Those two.
No, and then we all know what happened in the Super Bowl. And then 2011, rainy San Francisco was still Candlestick Park. And it was
Candlestick. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was still Candlestick. So it was just like, that aura. It was like visiting teams going to Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium. We're like, all right, we're in this right now.
We're in it. Yeah.
This is awesome. Let's do this. And then that was the game I know on Twitter, and I know I put it on social media. That was the game where people, if anybody wanted to talk on how Eli wasn't he wasn't that guy. That game you had to scrape Eli off the floor that game, and he still found a way to win. I know it came down to a couple fumbles by the punt team, which was obviously huge, and then Tynesy winning it as well. So it's just brings back fun memories, especially when you go 5-0 in that. When we go make it there, we normally win, obviously being 5-0.
Finish business. That's what we do. When we make it, the lights ain't too bright for the Giants.
We gotta get there again.
Different story.
We gotta get there again.
Yeah, we will.
Before we wrap up, I know we would be already talking about food. But Nikki not here.
We got it.
What did you have for dinner? I can't wait to tell you what I had for dinner and not be like, what is that? What is this? So what did you have for dinner? I'm sure it's pretty normal, and I'm sure you had real substance. So what'd you have for dinner quickly?
I made tacos today, ground beef tacos. Ooh. The normal, the taco seasoning with soft tacos, not hard tacos. Mexican cheese blend, sour cream, salsa, had a little bit of chips and some yellow Spanish rice.
There you go. Hey, that is perfect.
Yeah, can't complain. Hit the spot.
How many tacos do you have? Like 2 or 3? Because you can't have just one.
2. Yeah, I had 2 because I made them a little thicker. So the third one would have put me over the edge.
No, I feel you. Mm-hmm. I feel you. Yeah, Fangio's defense. Yeah, big time. For me, it was kind of chicken thighs. My mom made chicken thighs in the air fryer. So that was pretty good. We had purple sweet potatoes, which were pretty good. It was like regular. It was pretty cool. It's
Where do you get those?
I have to ask her because it was very weird. All I have to do, it's usually ready by the time I get home. But I'll ask her. It was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, Darius. I have to talk about Darius. Yes, we do. So we had that. It was pretty good, pretty basic. I'm sorry, people. I know we're not getting Nikki's. Oh, what did you have face? But on Twitter yesterday, I made the joke. Everybody saw that going around, that chicken parm.
Oh, that gross undercooked chicken.
It was the thickest, most undercooked chicken that I have ever witnessed in my life. It
made me sick looking at it.
Yeah, you and me both tweeted it out at the same time, which was really funny. There we go. Chris, this is why I could always count on you.
Sounds amazing.
Chris, I don't know if you know him.
I had to try that, Chris.
But Chris is the best. He'll post food. He cooks for his fire department.
I saw that. Chris is awesome. I always see him commenting on my stuff and I comment back to him, but I never get to give him the full love. Chris, I appreciate and love you. And that sounds amazing. I got to try that.
Chris is the man. It's one of my favorite tailgates every year when I see Chris and his wife. So
I'm gonna come up to one of these tailgates.
Yeah, no, you most definitely do. So yeah, it was pretty mild food wise. I had pizza during the games yesterday. I'm whatever. It's not the same with Nikki. I had normal food.
I had a smoothie, a salad.
Yeah,
that's all she eats.
Yeah, that's all she eats.
I mean, I wish I ate like that, but
we all do. So, Mal, before I forget, if you are a Yankee fan, check out our good friends at Bronx Muchachos. They are actually having bench coach Brad Asmus on their show Thursday night. I will post it. Obviously, Brad was a great MLB player with the Astros all these years. He's the new Yankees bench coach. Be sure to give our friends at Bronx Muchachos follow, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. They're doing a lot of great work for the upcoming Yankee season. Mal, you should definitely check them out as well.
I absolutely will.
With that being said, thank you for watching us. Mal, thank you for coming on. Nikki will be back next week. I will be hosting instead of her tomorrow on the Blonde Blitz. We will be recapping everything with Deb. Please like and subscribe to all our YouTube channels, our social media. We're upping up our game with social media, so be sure to check that out on the Blonde Blitz. And until next week on Thunder and Lightning side of things, until next time, see you next week. And go Giants.
Go Giants. Bye, guys.